So XRP ended up tapping into the wave R target, and this wave R would typically retrace anywhere between 1 to 1.236 of the wave W. And here you can see that the region sits between $3.14.02 to $3.53.18. And this took place on Thursday. And here you can see that we ended up actually extending beyond the 1.236 level, where we reached $3.66.07. And of course, this is something that I've talked about previously, where I mentioned how it was possible that we extend beyond the 1.236 level and we continue to see high highs. And it's possible that we then retrace towards the 1.618 level at $4.27.19. And if that's the case, then that will then form a 5-wave move as opposed to a WXY structure, where if XRP was to retrace towards this level here, that would then form the wave 3. And then we see a wave 4 and 5 that will play out. And within this wave 3, I have been tracking a 5-wave move. And so if I go down to the hourly chart, and what you can see is we have this 5-wave structure that formed the wave 1. And then we had this corrected move to the downside to complete the wave 2. And then we have this 5-wave structure that I've been tracking this past week to complete the wave 3, which could have potentially formed at $3.66. And then we had this corrected move that played out to complete the wave 4. And then we get to see that push to the upside to then complete the 5th wave. So if I just make that a different color, I'll make that green for now, just so it's not confusing. And yeah, within this 3rd wave, just this line here, we have this 5-wave structure that's playing out right now. And I was tracking this 4th wave made up of a WXY structure. And I was looking out for this Y wave to tap into this region. And this region sits between $2.51.4 to $2.57.59. And here, as you can see, we failed to actually tap into this region. And so it's possible that this WXY structure is still valid as long as the Y wave met the minimum requirement, which is a 61.8% retracement of the wave W. So if I bring in the Fib tool, and put this in the right position at 50.85.8. And so, yeah, the wave I would typically retrace anywhere between 1 to 1.226, so anywhere within this region. But as you can see, we failed to tap into that region, and instead we ended up meeting the minimum requirement at 61.8%, and that level sits at $2.68. And so, yeah, despite us not tapping into this region, this WXY structure is still valid, and that then completed the wave 4. And it looks like we are now within this 5th wave. And this 5th wave would then complete the wave 3. And here actually looks like what we are forming within this 5th wave is another 5-wave structure. And so if I just remove some of this, just so the chat's more clearer, of course, we ended up tapping into this region, as you can see. So I'll remove this. And yeah, it looks like what we are forming within this 5th wave is a 5-wave move, with this being a wave 1, this being a wave 2, and it looks like this is actually the wave 3. And then we had the wave 4 that played out, and then we get to see that final push to the upside to complete the 5th wave. So if I just make this a different color, I'll make this yellow. And yeah, so it looks like we are still within this 5th wave, which will go slightly higher, and that will then complete the wave 3. And then we see a wave 4 and 5 that will play out also. And so this 5th wave will typically retrace anywhere between 1.236 to 1.618 of the wave 4. So bringing in the Fib tool. So XRP has the potential to reach anywhere between $3.73.97 to $3.87.13. And so this is the next key target for XRP. So if I draw that in, so that will then complete this 5th wave, which in turn will then complete this bigger 5th wave, and that will then complete the bigger 3rd wave on a macro level. And then shortly after, I'll then be looking out for this retracement to the downside for the 4th wave, and another push to the upside for the 5th wave. And so this 5th wave could actually potentially reach that $5 mark, depending on how deep the wave 4 goes. But of course, this is something I'm going to be tracking in the days and weeks to come. So if I remove this, and looking at the stochastic RSI, what you can see is we are reaching the oversold conditions. And so, yeah, at some point I am looking out for the bulls to continue to regain control of the market. And the next key level that we need to break would be the local top at $3.48.55. and that will then further confirm that we are on a bullish trend. And then shortly after, the next key target would then be this one here at $3.66. And should that be the case, then that will then confirm that we have this 5-wave structure that's forming within this 5th wave, where that 5th wave will then tap into this region here. And if I go on the 4-hour chart, what you can also see is we are within oversold conditions. And so again, I am looking for the bulls to continue to regain control of the market and drive the price of XRP towards this region here. And so yeah, that's just my update on XRP. Hopefully you found it useful, and if you did, then feel free to hit the like button, and if you're new, feel free to subscribe. Take it easy, people. Peace.